So yes, let me address another question that I get asked on a periodic basis, and that is, Shima, how often should I trim my hair? Now with that in mind, I'm going to address a couple of tips here that will help you avoid trimming your hair too frequently. Because trimming your hair too frequently can also halt your hair growing journey, ladies. So I'm going to definitely get into that so you'll understand when and how often to trim your hair. And let's start with number one. And let me begin by saying that how often we trim our hair is a great question. The way I do it is by doing the search and destroy method. This basically means that I search and destroy, for example, snip off, with my scissors, only, and I repeat this, only the split dry ends, which means not all of my ends are going to be snipped off, but only the split very dry looking ends. And I perform the split and destroy method at least, I would say, once every 6 weeks. But I always periodically inspect my hair every day. I look in the mirror, to see if there's any dry split ends anywhere, and if there are, I search and destroy them. Okay, also one thing to keep in mind, ladies, is this: let's not confuse breakage with shedding hair. Remember that our hair sheds between 100 to 150 hair strands per day. That's an estimate, okay? And if you use protective styles, when you remove the protective styles after, say, your 2 weeks are up, or even longer, if you keep them for 4 weeks or 6 weeks, you will see a lot of shedded hair. Shedded hair that has accumulated, remained locked inside your protective style during those 2 weeks to 4 weeks to 6 weeks that you have your protective style in place. So when you remove the protective style, all of that shedded hair is going to fall off, and it's going to be way more than 100 to 150 hair strands. Because if you multiply that per day, 100 hair strands, per day, 100 hair strands per 2 weeks, 100 hair strands per 4 weeks, it's going to add up to the thousands of hair strands falling off. And again, do not worry, because this is not hair breakage, it is just shedded hair. Number two, ladies, if you use heat implements on your hair often, you are way more prone to experience hair breakage, and thus you will need to trim your hair more regularly, and we're trying to avoid that. Okay, so I say put all of those flat irons and curling irons down, period. But hey, that's just me. I say this because I have managed to live without heat implements, without curling irons, flat irons, for more than 3 to 4 years now. I seriously don't remember when was the last time I used a hot iron on my hair. It's been that long. And I've managed to, straighten my hair using other more safer, gentler methods, on my Afro textured hair. Now, with that said, if you still insist on using these heat implements, just keep in mind, ladies, that any kind of frequently applied heat that is directly hitting your hair strands for a prolonged period of time, meaning more than 30 seconds, if that blow dryer is hitting your hair non-stop for 1 minute on up, just keep in mind that it will have its consequences. So again, if you are frequently using hair dryers, blow dryers, curling irons, flat irons, straightening combs, all of these heat appliances strips the sebum, which is where your natural oils from your hair strands come from. Okay, so it's drying out your hair, and eventually it's gonna cause hair breakage. Let's look at number 3. Always wearing your hair down makes you more prone to frequent trims, Shima girls. For example, not only are the outside elements like the air drying out your hair, but also your ends constantly rubbing against your shoulder blades, when you're wearing your clothes, of course, constantly rubbing against the wool of your coat, the cotton of your shirt, on a constant basis, especially for ladies that are shoulder length, okay? This is wiping out any moisture you may have left. So with that said, either make sure you, at the very least, ladies, wear a silk material top. If you must insist on wearing your hair down, wear a silk material top, a silk blouse or something, okay? Or use protective style, ladies. Use your protective styles. Use your Shima buns. Use your French twist. Use your 2-strand twist. Just pin your hair up as much as you can, okay? Now, taking these steps is also going to help you avoid those frequent trims, ladies. Okay, number 4, very important. Number 4, lack of moisturizing, lack of Shima oiling, lack of using your Shima hairline creams for the ladies who needs that extra dose of moisture will also make you more prone to frequent trims, ladies. So, no moisture in the hair means no healthy hair growth for you. It's that simple. Again, no moisture in the hair equals no hair growth for you. And ladies with extra dry hair, as I said, for example, if you have extremely curly or tightly uniform curls, it is much harder for the natural oils that your sebum, meaning the sebaceous glands, which are located within the pores of your hair, you know, it's not going to be that easy for those oils to run down throughout the strands of your hair because of the extra curliness. You know, the extra curliness makes it much more difficult. And then on top of that, if you make it extra difficult by wearing your hair down constantly and not keeping your hair moisturized, not keeping a Shima oil, or not applying your Shima hairline creams, which is 10 times more moisturizing towards natural hair, ladies, or extra curly hair textures that need more moisture, it's going to lead to frequent hair trims that are not necessary. So Shima girls, let's follow these steps to a T so you won't have any issues with frequent hair trims. Okay, the only rule of thumb to keep in mind is to try to trim your hair only when it is necessary. So I encourage you to also do the search and destroy method like I do, or trim your hair once every 6 weeks max. Okay, let's try not to wait longer than that. And if you're wearing your protective styles, if you're Shima oiling, if you're wrapping your hair at night with your silk Shima headscarves, you will avoid having to use those scissors on a regular basis. And that is a great thing, you know, to minimize the hair breakage, to minimize those split ends, to minimize hair dryness, period. It's going to multiply your hair growth 10 times better, and it's going to help you achieve your hair growth goals that much faster.